Hi friends, today we are going to channel some messages about a situation in your life or a relationship or a habit that you're not able to say goodbye to. This could be a romantic relationship, but it could also be someone who has passed on, like a parent or someone that you cared really deeply about, a partner even that you're not able to move away from. Could be a child who has passed on or separated from you in some way. It could be a habit that you are having trouble saying goodbye to or breaking away from. So, whatever it is, whatever your situation is, keep that in mind and then pick a pile. Then, as always, don't make the messages fit. Use your discernment when you're taking the messages in. If you feel confused, it's best to give it a day or two before deciding whether the messages were for you or not. Sometimes we're really emotionally full of different kinds of things, and so we may misrecognize certain messages as not for us. And other times that same emotional fullness can make us feel this is ours when it's not. So if you feel confused, take a couple of days and then it'll be clearer. Okay, so if you've picked your pile, I'll see you at your readings. If not, please pause the video and see which pile calls to you. All right, pile 1, boundaries. I have drawn the cards in advance, but I'll be looking at them with you. This is the energy of a person here in this pile who's decided in their mind, it feels like, that you want to separate from something or someone, but you haven't told them. And it could be because you're worried about the emotional fallout here, the people or the person, the situation you want to separate from. It could be a workplace too. You may be correct in your assessment that they won't be able to handle this news well, they will not take it well. But I think this is coming up in this reading, pile 1, also because there might be some deeper layers to your hesitation. There might be certain reasons that are to do with you regarding why you're keeping this in your heart and not immediately sharing it with others. I think in your mind you're saying, I'll tell them when I'm ready, but I think there are messages here to help you understand why you're not already ready. It feels like there's a lot of stuff happening around you, and it's only your clarity within that you want to separate that is keeping you sane right now. And it's almost like you have to let it build up a little bit, that clarity, that sanity, to take the step that you need to take. But this person has all of their chakras really lit up, and I think this quiet, whatever this quiet is nourishing you. I think it has both pros and cons, like its light side and its shadow side. In the light way, in terms of illumination, positive effects, I think it's really helping you to be quiet. And the shadow side is you may be hiding something from yourself about this delay and about this hesitation. It's not even hesitation, it's just something you're telling yourself it's not time yet. You're very, it feels very strong, your clarity that you're going to separate from this situation. Whatever it is, in the past you've worked very hard on this situation, you've worked very hard to make it habitable for you. You've tried your best to create boundaries, but it hasn't worked. There is something here about the other person or the other situation where they need to depend on you in ways that are not nourishing for you, that are not comfortable for you. Let's see what the situation is. Yes, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Just figuring out the frame. Okay, the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, oops, sorry. Yeah. The 7 of Swords. There is some dishonesty, pile 1, that you are practicing right now. Again, then maybe positive, useful sides to it and negative sides to it as well. But there's definitely some dishonesty that's happening right now. You know what you need to do, but you're not telling others. And you also know that when they realize, or when you tell them, look, we need to separate, they are going to feel really betrayed that you didn't tell them straight away. So you could have been harboring this clarity in your heart for a while now. It's not recent. It may also be something to do with money. So you may have some money tied up somewhere. Let's say this is a marriage partnership. You may have money tied up in some way and you want to clear that out. You want to figure that out before you say, I need a divorce. Whatever this is, pile 1, it does not feel good at the level of ethics and integrity. I'm going to be honest. It feels sneaky and it feels just deceptive. And no matter what this other person has done or what these other people have done, you know that they don't deserve it, but it just feels like something you have to do right now, which is wait. We want to understand why. What's coming across is that this other person, this other situation may actually be completely in the dark. They might think this is going really well. They might think that you're very happy, that there's a lot of emotional fullness in the situation for you, that you feel really loved, and that you feel very abundant and taken care of and secure, but you don't. There's pent-up resentment and rage here inside of you. So one of the possibilities here is that this other person or these other people are somewhat disconnected from reality. Okay, so if you were to say something like, I'm feeling really suffocated, they would say, well, that's what a marriage is about, my dear, and it's all okay and you'll get used to it. There's a kind of conventional goodness that they might muster to squash your reservations, to suppress your needs that are different from theirs, but they kind of may have a habit of doing it in this really sweet and good-natured way that's very hard for you to tolerate, because that is its own deception, right? It's not good-natured because you're not listening to the other person. You are not really, you're claiming to care for the other person, but you're not really doing that. You're saying to them, no, you are mistaken about the care that you think you need to receive. So this is possibly the particular message that needs to come through for you, pile 1, is that yes, you are hesitating to tell them because they may be emotionally mature and you need to ramp up your strength and your inner resources to take this step. But the other side of this, the shadow side of this, is that you want to punish them for whatever they've done to you. You're angry with them and you almost are biding your time and want to unconsciously perhaps deliver the blow when it is most unexpected and when you know that it's going to really hurt them. this. Look at that, a double confirmation here. 7 of Swords, upright and reversed. And the Knight of Coins. Pile 1, your guidance is to not do this. Your guidance is to really get in touch with your impulse to wreak vengeance on this other person and resolve that. It is not going to bring you the peace that you think it will. Please take your time for sure before you make the decision, before you communicate it with others, but don't do it out of a sense of bitterness and rage, because that is going to harm you much more than you realize. It is not going to bring you the peace, the satisfaction that you want it to. Instead, you're going to be left with a very sickly, dirty feeling in your mouth about what you did. There's also something really honest about you, Pile 1. Like, your natural energy is very, very honest, but I think years of gaslighting has made you feel like, what's the point? You know, what is the... Okay, curse words are coming to mind. Like, what is the freaking point of being honest when I'm not going to be heard? I'm not going to be taken seriously. What is the point? So much frustration here, which I absolutely understand, that you need to resolve that on its own terms. You need to understand that whatever this person or these people did, that was wrong. That was simply wrong. It doesn't mean that you need to destroy them. This is going to take you time. This is going to take you a bit to resolve and release. But when you do that, you'll be able to break away from them in a much cleaner way. The other problem of what you're doing is also that if you do it with the intention of vengeance, even if you break away, that it's not going to karmically, the break is not going to happen. You're not going to feel like it's done, this chapter is over. It will not be over, because then you will be bound in deeper karmic cords with this person, because now you would have done something wrong. And so you would have to learn from it and release it, and it'll take much, much longer. Whereas right now, if you understand this impulse within you and act from a different place, your break can be much, much cleaner, Pile 1. Let's see what you can muster at the moment to help yourself. Speed, movement, gravity, groundedness. Yeah, I think speed is here to say, don't worry about speed. Don't worry about how fast you can do this, though I think you're very, very fed up and tired. Don't worry about speed. Be grounded, take your time, grieve. Can you see this figure? Oops. Can you see this figure? Just resting with all of their guides, animal guides around them, with their star family around them, and with this symbol of the butterfly, which is a symbol of transformation. That's what you need. You need to be anchored in yourself, in your pain. You need to understand, okay, something terrible has occurred here. These people or this person has done these many things to me, and I would like to mourn what has been lost. I would like to grieve what has occurred in my life, and I want to let it go. And when you're fully ready to let it go, that's when you say goodbye. Yeah, you may have a little bit of a fantasy of speed here, that okay, you're biding your time, but when you will do it, it'll be sudden and it'll be, just done. Like, I am done with you, and you walk out. Or if it's a workplace, throw your papers in the air and create a very powerful scene and walk away and it's done. But no, that may not come to pass. If you have to leave a workplace, you have to figure out, lots of different documents. If you have to leave a person, you have to do a lot of work after you separate. And so that kind of powerful FU and then walking away may not happen. That's not where you need to focus on. Focus on releasing what has happened. Okay, some final guidance for you. Trust your innocence. Oh, unique gifts. Yeah, I think that's what you really, that's what you're really angry about, pile one. That this really, I used the word innocence before. There's really something about your innocence that got lost in this relationship or in this situation. You used to be a person who just would say things that were in your heart. You would wear your heart on your sleeve. You were very certain about who you were and what kinds of gifts you had, what you had to give to others, and you just gave it like very easily and very unself-consciously. And all of that's become really warped because through this situation, through this person, you just cannot tell anymore if what you give is received in the same spirit. It feels like this person, under the guise of good-naturedness, has played certain mind games with you, has kept you tied to a certain vision of things, whether it's of a relationship or a workplace, and it's been very hard for you to break away from it because every time you've said, this is not what I want, you've been told, but this is how it usually is. You need to grow up. It was never going to be a fairy tale. And in the beginning, you listened to them. And in the beginning, you thought maybe you are the one who is wrong. Can you hear that cat snarling in the background? I think that's your inner child. You listened to them, you believed them, you thought they were really being honest, and whatever advice they were giving to you was in your own interest. And slowly you realize that no, they were being really selfish and sneaky and playing mind games with you, perhaps unconsciously. Like they didn't think, I am going to mess with this person. I think probably unconsciously they have their own unhealedness to work with. You're very angry about what kind of a, like you're really disillusioned, pile one, really disillusioned by this relationship, and it's going to take you a while to come back to your usual optimism levels, but you will get there. You will get there. This depression, this disillusionment is not going to last forever, and whatever growth you have achieved in this relationship, you will see its value sooner or later. For now, you really need to release what has happened. You need to work on your pain without turning to vengeance as a way of releasing it, because it is not going to be the release that you hope it will be. Alright, pile one, that's your message. I'm sending you a lot of love. Hi, pile two. Alright, whatever this is, whatever you're not able to say goodbye to, there's a lot of stagnation here. It just hasn't been growing. But it feels like you're joined to this situation, or you're attached to it, whether it's a person or a workplace, anything, a habit, and just it's very hard for you to imagine breaking away from it. Though there is just, it feels like years of intense stagnation piled up, but it feels like just you can't imagine breaking away from it. I think the reason that this is coming up right now is that actually there are very real opportunities right now around you that have come up, and you want to take them. They will take you in a new direction, towards this full moon and this very open landscape. But you just don't know how to break away from this. So let's say that if it's a job where you haven't grown for years and years, suddenly there is a job opportunity that looks really good, and maybe they've approached you proactively, and the financial compensation is good, the opportunities for growth are excellent, but so it just makes sense to go for it, but there's something in your emotional body that's holding you back, and you're going, I can feel it, there's a lot of loopy thinking here. If I do that, if I do this, if I do that, if I do this. But pile two, even before we look at your cards, like I haven't seen them, I just drew them, but I'll see them with you. Even before we look at your cards, one message, one clear message for you is, you know it is time to move. You know it is time to move. You need to stop with the loopy thinking. There is nothing to be gained anymore from the situation that you are wedded to. It is time to go. Let's see what the situation is. Yeah. 4 of Coins, Ace of Pentacles, and Death. Oh. This is you. Look at you. You're holding these pentacles, not willing to let go of them, even though you have a whole new... Oh, this is not even the Ace of Pentacles. This is a Wheel of Fortune. Oh my God. This is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. You are not willing to let go of these pentacles, even though nothing has moved in these pentacles for years. The Wheel of Fortune reversed is literally a situation that has been stagnant. The wheel hasn't moved, and this is major arcana. So this is a major cycle of stagnation, not just like 1 month, 3 months. This is years. But you are not willing to let go of these pentacles. Partly it could be, there could be a little bit of a scarcity mindset at play here, pile 2. So let's say that if you've grown up in a financially challenged situation, if finances have not always been good, and now you have a job that kind of pays well, but it's not too great for your mental peace, or there isn't a lot of opportunity for promotions or something. It's hard for you to let it go, because you know what deprivation feels like. And so you think, what if I let this go and then the other thing doesn't pan out? But I want to assure you, with all the love of your guides, let it go. Let it go, pile 2. Whatever you've built here, like the real stuff you've built, not the external world stuff, right? The real stuff that you've built inside of yourself, that is always going to be with you. But you're ready. You're ready for this death. You are ready to move into the next stage of your life. You know, the Death card, keep feeling like we're not in, yeah, okay. So we're not in frame, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so this Death card, though it kind of looks weird and scary, is actually a very positive sign in this reading. You know, the Death card has come to say, kill whatever's already dead. Wow, look at that. Electricity just left the premises. I'm going to light a candle. Pile 2. Just hold on. Sorry, just a second. I can't find my lighter. Yeah, okay. I hope you can see the cards now. Yeah, so the death card is a positive sign, is what I was saying. I don't think, yeah, okay, is this better? Okay. It's a positive sign. It tells me that you are really ready to get into a whole new phase of life. And it is going to feel scary. The death phase is never easy. It is never something that you can just breezily get through. Look at that candle. Yeah, see? Did you see? Death and then a quiet, slow rebirth. This is in the cards for you, this rebirth. But first, pile 2, you have to get through the death. You have to get through the death. This is the 4 of Cups reversed. I think I'm going to need another candle. The Page of Cups. And the Knight of Swords reversed. Let me get another candle so that you can see the cards better. I hope that's better. Yeah, so the 4 of Cups reversed, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. There is a dream that you have nurtured since you were a child. And this dream is not that of wild success. This dream is you feeling happy in your own skin. This dream is you feeling fulfilled in whatever situation you're in. Look at that. These candles are so, they just keep wanting to die. I feel like there's a lot of depression in your field, pile 2. You've given up on this inner child's dream of happiness. That's the thing. You have, for whatever reason, circumstances in your life, I am sure, you have just devoted your whole life to the pursuit of security. Safe things, safe options. This is good for now. At least it's paying me this much. You've gotten so wedded to the pursuit of security that you've stopped letting yourself want joy. And I don't even mean there, that's our confirmation. I don't even mean joy in the sense of wild, unbridled joy. I mean simply feeling good, having a home to return to every day that makes you feel comfortable. It does not have to be a castle. It does not have to be anything luxurious, just something comfortable, just something that is yours. You were not ambitious professionally as a child. You did not have those kinds of ambitions. All you wanted was to be happy, was to feel good. But over the years, for whatever reason, you've started pursuing professional ambitions, but in a way that just only prioritizes security, not your growth, not your sense of joy. And you have overridden the voice inside of you that has said at times, I don't want this, let's not do this, let's not take this job, I don't think this is going to make me feel good. You've overridden that voice and picked things or chosen things that you knew will give you some kind of assurance that it's going to be okay. It's time, it's strange. On the one hand here, your message is let go of that need of security. And on the other, the message is reach for the dream that you really have. Like, take the risk of committing to the dream that is really yours. And that dream may not be security and mad growth. It may simply be this, file to dancing with life. And you have an opportunity right now on the table that will allow you to do that. And your guides are saying go for it. It's going to be a little bit of adjustment for sure. It's going to take you a while to get used to that lack of safety net or cushioning, whatever it is that this current situation is giving to you. But you'll be so happy. Even without your safety net, you're going to be so happy if you take this opportunity. Let's see what you need to master to be able to say this goodbye. Depth, lake, growth, plans. I feel, the energy that's coming through, it's just really someone who truly doesn't care about appearances, truly doesn't care about how much money you have saved in your bank account. You don't care about mortgage payments. You don't care about owning property. You just care about the quality of your day. You care about the trees around you, the air around you. You care about watching the world around you with eyes of wonder. You care about your personal space. And someone, there was this romantic comedy I used to watch often when I was a child. I think it was called Sabrina. It had Harrison Ford in it. And so the central character, Sabrina's father, was a very educated man, but he had chosen to drive for a rich family. So he was a driver, which is traditionally not a elite job that a learned person would want to take. But he had taken that job. He explained, I think he explained at one point in the movie, because all he wanted to do was read. So he had this giant library in his home, and he would drive during the day, and then he would come home and just sink into his armchair and read his books. I feel that kind of a thing with you, Pile 2, where you really don't care about status and about professional, I am this person. I have been promoted to so and so in this corporate jungle. You don't care. You care about coming home to something that you love. Maybe your plants. Yeah, I think there is a lot of this deep, deep longing within you that is trapped in your throat. You may not have communicated this for years to the people around you. It's time now. It's time now to switch from the inauthentic dream, which is security, to the real dream, which is peace and joy and wonder. A quiet life, Pile 2. A quiet life. I love this energy so much. It is just, it's really deep, and it's so soulful. Your dream is so soulful. Some final guidance for you. Life force energy, yes, and gracious receptivity. Oh my God. You're ready. You're ready, Pile 2. Life has come to you with this opportunity, saying you have toiled enough. You have punished yourself enough. It's time to reclaim your life force energy by going for what you truly want. quiet life, a peaceful life, a life that fills you up with meaning and joy, and it has nothing to do with financial, professional success and security. I just see so much soulfulness in these cards. Just your guides are saying, take it. You've earned it. You've earned this quiet life. Take it. Trust it. Trust your dream. And see, if you have to be practical, if you have to toil for one more year, I understand, Sometimes we are locked in certain situations. Maybe you have a contract at work. I don't know. Maybe you do have a mortgage. If you have to take a practical call here that yes, this is the quiet life I want, but I am going to have to wait. I understand that. But at least if this is really you, if this is the quiet life is really what you want, at least commit to that in your heart, pile 2. Say to yourself clearly, say to yourself every day, I need to do this temporarily, whatever I'm doing, but the quiet life is where I'm headed. And when the time comes, act. Do not wait. Do not hold on to this life that you don't want, and go for the one that you do. Right? I'm sending you so much love, pile 2. All right, pile 3. Pile 2 was so beautiful. I'm still smiling and my skin is still tingling from it. I'm just going to take a second to tune into your energy, which feels very different. It feels very strong and purposeful. And okay, here's what I'm getting, pile 3. Your energy is in a really good place, but it kind of feels directionless. Like you're ready for something in your life, like the right job or the right relationship or the right situations. You're just ready. Like there's just so much coherence in your field, but it feels directionless. Like you don't know where to channel that energy. What do you really want? Okay, that might be where your conscious mind is snagging a little bit. I'm ready for the next stage of my life, or I'm ready to do something. I'm ready to work very hard, but what should I do? What do I really want? What kind of job do I want? What should I apply for? So there's this doubleness right now in your energy, readiness, but you don't know towards what. And you may be torturing yourself. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Don't do that, pile 3. That's not going to yield any answers. I feel someone really pressurizing themselves to be like, come on, tell me. Like, trying these different strategies, like closing your eyes and saying, in 30 seconds, I'm going to see what I want. Or before going to sleep, you're saying, I want to see a dream of what I... Don't do those things, pile 3. Just relax. There's a reason that you don't know yet what you want. I think that we're going to get some answers here today. Okay. 5 of Cups in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse, and the 9 of Swords in reverse. Anxiety, lack of clarity, desperation, feeling like I needed to know yesterday. You're on some artificial timeline here, pile 3. I should have known by this time, I should have done this by that time, by this age, this should have manifested. This is, you have, your attachment to this timeline is a product of some kind of insecurity, some kind of lack of belief in your self and in your path. And I think you've had this for a long time. You've had this insecurity for a long time, and then maybe something happened. Let's say that you got into a degree program and you did so well that it built up your confidence for the first time in your life, or you got into a really good relationship with someone who saw you, who believes in you, who trusts you, who supports you in the right ways. And so I think you've been insecure all your life, and recently there has been a good situation in your life that's built you up, that's given you self-belief. But I think now that you have it, now that you have this supportive situation, you're kind of really afraid that it will fall away. That if you don't immediately take the next step, if you don't immediately consolidate into the next stage of your future, that's going to go away. So if it's, let's say that you've just graduated from a really good degree program, or you've just had a bunch of validation for your professional expertise, or your capacity to be good at the field of work that you've chosen. Now you immediately want a job that ratifies that takes you forward, whereas the jobs you might be getting are sort of entry-level jobs that don't really feel like they're going to be that next stage of your evolution. And so you're feeling really desperate, like, what should I do? The key here, pile 3, is to understand that whatever this good situation has come in your life, that has given you some holding space, but it cannot, right? It hasn't completely healed your insecurity. That healing we have to do. No situation can do that for us. Even the best partner cannot heal for us. Even the best teacher cannot, learn this lesson for us. So what's happened is good. You've had some respite and you've had some rest from your fears and insecurities. But the next stage is you doing your inner work. The next stage is you relying on that space to get to the heart of your fears, your insecurities, and working on that for yourself. The reason that you are not able to understand what you want right now is because this is what you need to work on. In some ways, what your deepest calling is actually to heal yourself. Your deepest calling right now is to rid yourself of this fear that you're not enough, that whatever you do, it is not going to be enough, that you must have the right opportunity at the right time and you must jump at it, and it must all unfold in the right way, otherwise it's all going to be destroyed. Like there's an all or nothing fear in your field of it. Or if you've been in a good relationship, now you're really worried, should I get married, should we do this, but I'm not yet ready to get married, I don't have the job yet. There is a lot of unnecessary worry here about the next stage, when what you need to actually do is heal the past. Queen of Wands in reverse, 10 of Swords in reverse, and the 2 of Cups in reverse, okay? Yeah. Growing up, you've been given the message that unless you're accomplished in a particular way, unless you are successful in a particular way, unless you take action at the right time, you're not going to be loved. You've been on the receiving end of conditional love, pile 3. This could be parent figures, siblings, friends, teachers. You've been given a set of conditions that you've internalized. I have to be A, B, and C to receive love. And what's happened is, okay, now this is clear. What's happened is this recent good situation in your life, unconsciously, it's activated that within you. That I got this because I was doing certain things right. My partner loves me because for a change, I was there for them, or I was good at my work. My teachers loved me because I was really beautiful. My work was really beautiful. There is this good situation unconsciously, it has given you this confirmation that it's come only because you fulfilled some conditions of being here. That you don't just deserve love because you're alive, but you've gotten it because you did some things right, and now you're very anxious of, I must keep doing this right. Otherwise, it will all go. This is what you need to delve deeper into and understand and release. This, whoever's done this to you, they had their own wounds to deal with, pile 3. This is not about, you don't have to do anything to deserve love and success and goodness. Just the fact of you being alive is enough. You are enough. You do good things, or you take steps in the right direction, or you choose growth for yourself. Not because you're anxious that the other person won't love you if you take a breather, or if you don't know what you want, like everyone's going to leave you or everyone's going to abandon you, right? So there's also an abandonment wound here that's very, very active right now. So consciously, I think you're thinking, okay, like I'm ready, next step, etc. But emotionally, internally, there's some healing that you need to do. So let's see what you need to muster to say goodbye to this feeling of you're not enough. Bushfires, fury, and alchemy, magic. Yeah, the bushfires, this card is reminding me of the fires that swept through Australia a few years ago, where a lot of animals died. And these were clearly, man-made fires, like climate change and all kinds of messed up environmental nonsense that we engage in on an everyday basis. Tuning into your energy here, your guidance here. Just give me a second. It is so strange that your messages, you need to heal right now. You don't need to figure out what you want, but then your guides are also coming in to give you a little bit of an insight into what you want. You want to be a sacred warrior, pile 3. You want to do things, you want to work towards causes that you strongly believe in. You want to contribute in a very real way to the world around you. This is not just you getting a job and doing really well. You want to change the world in some way. You want to contribute in that kind of a way. There's a lot of activist reformer energy here. You want to change the world. You want to alchemize the pain of the world into something else, into magic. So your guides are coming in to say, this is where you're headed. But before you go there, before you do this very important and sacred work of changing the world, you need to heal your unconscious belief that you're not enough, that you're not worthy of love and goodness. Because if you jump into this work without healing yourself, what's going to happen is You're going to be very desperately attached to the outcome. Changing the world takes a long time, and a lot of our best reformers don't see the change that they are working towards in their own lifetime. So if you're going to be the sacred warrior, you're going to have to understand that the outcome does not reflect the sanctity of your work. So you may never see the outcome that you're working towards, but you have to work in faith. You have to work with that strength within, that self-belief within, that it does not matter when this outcome manifests. What matters is the realness of my work. To have that kind of self-belief and anchoring to do the work that you really want to do in the world, you have to heal the part of you that says, I'm not good enough. You have to have belief in yourself. Luminescence and the portal keeper. This is literally a card of self-love. It's a play on luminescence, a word that means being lit up, light. And luminescence is also about the bulb. So the bulb that is lit through its lumen. This is about you being lit up from your self-love, and then that becoming the portal through which the world changes. There's going to be, you need to go on a journey of self-love, pile 3, a journey of self-love. And I want to make a distinction here between self-care and self-love. This is not just about you pampering yourself and just eating good foods and doing things that make you happy. This is really shadow work. Going deep into yourself and taking stock of your wounds and giving to yourself what no one else can give to you. Giving to yourself where you have been deprived. And you're not going to you're not going to be able to believe in advance that you can give to yourself the things that have been denied to you. You just have to do it and show it to yourself. Here is the love that I didn't receive as a child. Here, I can give it to myself. I am giving it to myself. This is not about belief, in the sense that this is not about you changing your mindset. This is about you living with love. This is about you giving love to yourself every day, and then that act of love, that changing your mindset. It's not about you thinking, let me give myself love. It's about you acting with love towards yourself. What does that mean? It means that when you're sad, to listen to yourself. When you're hurting, to think that, to actually create conditions of nurture around you. This is also about you accepting that you are not going to ever be 100% good or 100% beautiful. And your flaws don't take away from your deservedness. There's just so much here. Pile 3, it's hard to put into words because I feel like I'm just spouting off a lot of cliches about self-love. So let's do this. If this is for you, and if you have questions about what kind of self-love you need to explore or inhabit or embody, or how can you cultivate that, just put your specific questions in the comments and I'll see how I can help you. Like whatever guidance comes to mind, I will share there, because I feel like here I'm just feeling this strong push to tell you that you need real self-love. You need to cultivate that. And it's going to be different for different people how they go about it. Yeah. What you need to say goodbye to, that you're having trouble doing, is this feeling that you're not enough. That's your reading, pile 3. Sending you a lot of love.